Week 8 of the second season of the SPDA Ultraball division is finally upon us, and your Pittsburgh Steelers are taking on Bick, coach of the Blood Moon Bears. And it's going to be an interesting battle. This week, we're going up against one of the top 4 seeds in the playoffs for the final week of the regular season. So he's locked up for playoffs. And I'm the bottom 4, but despite my loss last week to Cali Dude, I did secure a playoff spot because I was able to keep the loss to only like a 1-0. So it actually ended up working out for me. So this is so he just said, we're just going to sit back and we're just going to meme for this one. We're not going to take this battle too seriously. And I said, okay. So this is not a very serious battle. But I still brought normal stuff. But he brought, well, I don't want to spoil it just yet, but he brought some stuff that is really weird and not that ideal. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's begin the game. The meme battle of probably the century or the year, probably just the year. Let's be a little more realistic. And of course, you can't have a meme battle without meme music. So let's go on ahead and let us begin. So he's going to lead off with Zapdos, as I'm going to lead off with my Urshifu. And turn 1, I want to get the flip out of here. I don't want to reveal that I'm scarfed immediately, and I don't want to risk a static against the Zapdos. So I'm just going to hard swap into my Uni here. And she's going to come in and take an Air Cutter, which ends up getting a crit. Now, I know Air Cutter has a high crit chance move, but that shouldn't have done that much damage. I mean, crit. And I would come later to realize that this is actually Scope Lens Zapdos. Zapdos has an increased crit chance along with the high crit move, which is crazy. I'm going to go ahead and save my Terra. Actually, no, I'm live. I'm going to go Terra right now and blast a Terra Blast into this thing's face, predicting the Zapdos to switch, which thankfully it did. Now the Ogerpon is out. I don't want to take an Ivy Cudgel to the face. So I'm just going to switch out here into, I believe, Bubby the Tauros. And he's going to go for Rock Tomb, which doesn't get the speed drop because I am, in fact, Clear Amulet. Maybe for the assuming Fullfish that he had on his team, but as you can see, that's not here. But it ended up working out in this case. But I wasn't expecting to get that to be revealed. But is that Rock Tomb and not Ivy Cudgel? Really weird. Anyways, he's going to Psychic Shield. I'm going to Trailblaze here, trying to get my speed up. I am going to take the chip from the shield, and he's just going to go back out into Zapdos. I do Trailblaze here. There's next to nothing, but I don't get the Static Terror, I believe. No. Now, obviously, I don't want to stay in there and take an Air Cutter. So, and Uni got chipped from the last one, so I'm just going to go out into Frankie here. And, of course, Zapdos is going to, for some weird reason, Rain Dance. Of course, yes, Rain Dance. The pair with freaking Thunder, of all things. But I am Assault Vest, though, and he's not that invested. I don't get paralyzed. I knock off. This is where I find out it was indeed Scope Lens. So now he shouldn't be critting as much, thankfully. I do switch out into Uni, who's going to eat the Thunder and proc Volt Absorb, so that's nice. Now the rain is still going to fall. I have Hurricane, Terra Fly Boost, and Specs boosted. Still gets the Air Cutter off though, but I have Hurricane again. I and I take down the Zapdos. Now, instantly comes the Darkrai, and this is where I start to find out this guy took meaning to a whole new level. This Darkrai, well, I'm not going to say this yet, but I do want to get Uni out of here. I don't want to risk not killing and this thing being Assault Vest. So I'm going to go out on a Tentacle here next to Death Maw and Quick Attack, which is not something I expected. And I'm not going to lie, it did a lot more than I thought it would. That is Choice Band Darkrai. He's going to switch out, and he's going to go into Mug, and of course, I don't know that it's Choice Band yet. So I go for the Mirror Cut, it's like a Dark Pulse or something, but that's not what ends up happening. And my Mirror Cut is going to fail, so I'm going to flip him out of there, and I'm going to take this opportunity to go out into Frankie. And he's just going to take Shadow Balls, which does so much damage, and this is, and I didn't even have to run the calc. I'm the Soul Best. That is very clearly Specs Muck, which is, again, what's happening here. I know it's supposed to be meaning, but holy heck, dude, calm down. I'm gonna Heavy Slam here. I could have Psychic Fangs, but I didn't want to risk Darkrai coming in. It doesn't quite KO, and you even think me out with another Shadow Ball. But Urshi's Boost is gonna come out and get the claim a free kill. Down goes the Mud. I go back in the Tentacles, this is what Tentacle are doing, and in comes the Darkrai. And I'm gonna go ahead and click Knockoff here this turn. Foul Play a decent chunk. And this is where I find out it was Choice Banded, and I'm like, holy heck, dude, I'm glad I got that thing out of there. Now I'm gonna go out into Tauros to get the Intimidate off again. So Darkrai, Foul Play, doesn't do that much. And in comes the Ogerpon. I get the Trailblaze off this time. And the first one Speed Boost. I go for a Flare looking at Spiky Shields. And I'm thinking, okay, it's at like, 36%. Surely Earthquake kills it, right? It does not. And Rock Tomb does kill them, unfortunately. I do bring in Urshifu, gotta get the U-turn off, take out the Ogerpon, and now I'm gonna go ahead and bring in Genie here just to Specs, Terrablast something. It just happened to be Rhyperior, and it takes a lot of damage. With actually a Rock Polish set, which is very worrisome, and I don't quite take it out, take the second one off, and now it's faster than me. And this is where I find out that apparently Special Rhyperior is a thing. He's gonna Power her Meteor Beam me and take out my Genie. Not fun. First he comes out, and he does Terra Fairy here. I was scared of one of the Terras, but I didn't want to lock myself in the Iron Head. And I figured that a close combat would kill. Earth Power does way too much. And close combat barely does not do enough. Wicked Blow probably would have killed, but close combat into close Quabble and into Darkrai probably would have KO'd them. Probably. And now I'm forced to sack off Tentacle here. Not fun. Not fun. But now Dime gets to come in and take out this stupid mother flippin' Rhyperior, thankfully. And now the Duck comes in. Now, I can't kill this thing in one hit. If I Dragon Dance here, there's a real chance that I get close combat and lose. So I have to go for the Skill Shot and hope it's enough to KO. And as you can see, it's not gonna be. And I get 4 anyway. I only get the 5th. And then he Misty Terrains. And I'm like, hold on. When does Quabble ever get Misty Terrain? However, and now Skill Shot's not gonna do any amount of damage because the terrain is up. And Icicle Spear, I don't know if it's gonna KO, so I have to EQ here. And thankfully, EQ's gonna get the KO. Darkrai comes in, and Icicle Spear, it doesn't quite KO. I do get the 5-hit this time though. Drain Punch comes out, takes me out. It's a lot of health back, but I outspeed because I'm Scarf. Close combat, and the Dark Guy does go down. And I do end up winning the game 1-0, but barely. And I gotta say, I wasn't too happy. I know I won, but the fact that he took me to a whole new level. I'll leave this page in the description if I can find it so you guys can see what crazy stuff he was cooking. Obviously not all the tech he had was revealed. He had other stuff too. But y'all saw the main stuff. But that was some insane cookery. I did not know what I was looking at. My eyes could not unsee the horrors that were before me. And, well, now that I fight him again for quarterfinals because he chose me as his opponent. Probably because I didn't take the battle as a meme. But also, this was a meme battle, so we didn't... I guess he won the serious one, which is fair. So, I'll see you all for quarterfinals against Big again. And we'll see how it goes. So, I will see you all in the next one, and make sure that you guys stay goated. I am recording the Pittsburgh Sixers. My name is Zach Attack. I hope you all have a glorious day, and I will most certainly see you all on the flip side. Peace! And just so y'all know, Yanni's the boss.